Sketch a graph of the following function. Well, what's the same directions? Why am I reading that? Y equals cosine of x plus pi over 2 plus 2. So what letters do we have here? We do the opposite. Because remember, general form is x minus c. Okay? Yeah. So that's why it's so the opposite. So this is like our h in algebra. Alright. So we have a pi over 2 and a 2. What letter is the pi over 2? C. And what is the 2? D. And again, the general rule until we get to our acronym that tells you the order in which you do everything, you continually work inside out. So we're going to graph the original function. And then if you were telling me steps, working inside out, what will we do next? How far what direction? We're going to move pi over 2 to the left. And then the cosine of x plus pi over 2 says to do. Is that okay with everyone? I'm going to move that down actually. That's fine. And lastly, what does the plus 2 say to do? I know. Vertical shift up 2 units. Alright, we're going to graph a cosine. You should already have that down. So now we're going to move left pi over 2 units in terms of coordinates. We are subtracting pi over 2 from each coordinate. Or, again, let's go back to counting. Notice our tick marks are in terms of pi over 4. How many tick marks would it make to make pi over 2? 2. So in other words, we're going to move each point 2 tick marks to the left. So, okay? What I'm trying to get at is don't make this harder than this. Just bring it down to counting. So this point here, for this left one, it's going to be off the screen, so goodbye. This guy here, negative 3 pi over 2, is going to move 2 tick marks to the left. This one down here, negative pi, 2 tick marks to the left. So on and so forth. Again, after you get a couple, you should realize the pattern. And notice we had to introduce a new point that would have been at, what would that be, 5 pi over 2? Ooh, we're going to make some DNA. Here it comes. Whee! That's nice. That's pretty. You don't like it? You don't like DNA? Yes. Yes, it is. I just think about it. And now we're going to add 2 to the function, which does what to the y coordinates? What does, no, that's what it does graphically. What does it do to the y coordinates? Add 2 to the y coordinates. Very good. So each point now count up 2 tick marks because the y-axis is counted by 1s. So 1, 2. Let's do 1, 2. 1, 2. Is it okay so far? So in black, we have our final picture. Now on your test, what's going to happen is I'm only going to give you one blank area. So if you want to do the stages, that's fine. I'll give you a separate sheet that has your formulas. And then below it, we'll have some test ones. But then please put your final one on the main portion of your test.